Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just got out of seeing Valley Girl 2020, which is a remake of the 1983 romantic comedy of the same name. Both films are loosely based off the Shakespeare love story of Romeo and Juliet, but obviously with a much less tragic ending. But does this remake happen to reinvent the wheel and manage to be even better than the original? No, not really. It's probably one of those remakes that doesn't need to exist, but that doesn't mean it's not fun in its own right. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that Julia Richmond, much like in the original, this time played by Jessica Roth, is a material valley girl living in the 1980s who meets a bad boy named Randy, who happens to be a punk rocker, at a time when punk rock was seen as toxic to the youth, and while she's dating the jerk jock Mickey, played by Logan Paul. Yes, that Logan Paul. So, the movie once again, much like the original, details how Julie and Randy fall in love, and the trials and tribulations of being two people in completely different worlds who manage to come together despite their differences. The only difference this time is that the movie is told in a jukebox musical style, especially since it has a framing device of an older Julie telling her daughter this entire story as part of a flashback. Now, that's not the worst idea in the world when it comes to a remake, and even the cliches that are throughout this lets you know that the movie isn't unoriginal. It's more trying to be a loving homage to the original in a lot of ways. And in that way, it does certainly work. Those who seek 80s nostalgia and pure musical entertainment will certainly get a lot out of this movie, as the soundtrack is everything from Hey Mickey, You're So Fine, to Take On Me, to Kids in America, and everything in between when you think of 80s pop hits. On top of that, Jessica Roth, as shown in her roles in Happy Death Day, absolutely sells the likable Valley Girl image that made Julie such an enjoyable character when Deborah Foreman played her. Randy's actor, on the other hand, while he certainly does have a lot of charisma and he does work well with Jessica, he just cannot beat the original, who was played by Randy, who was played by Nicolas Cage. But then again, 1980s Nicolas Cage would be a hard one for any actor this generation to beat, in my opinion. And I do wish he ultimately got a cameo in the film, even if it was just for a joke, because that would have really sold it. But the other actors throughout the film, including a rather entertaining performance from Mae Whitman, who we definitely need to see more of, certainly makes up for the main leads not being as strong as they were in the 1980s version. The movie, however, is very slickly produced, allowing for a lot of great choreography during the musical sequences, as well as some great editing so that it doesn't make the good shots that are made seem incomprehensible. And the song sequences, while I feel like there are one too many, do certainly keep a highly positive and energetic tone throughout the film, which even during the more cliched moments do manage to get some entertainment value out of you if you have any fondness for 1980s nostalgia. Everything from Macintosh computers to VCR cameras to roller derbies are in full display here. And it's clear that the cast and crew have a love for the 80s, like a lot of the best films that pay homage to the era. Now, Logan Paul's involvement is the reason that this film, which was originally meant to be released in 2018, had to be pushed back all the way to today for it to be released. And it can be a little uncomfortable to see him in this movie at all. But you're not supposed to like his character anyways, and if you can get past that, the rest of the cast is absolutely spot on with their performances. And the film as a whole is definitely something we need in a time where positive entertainment is absolutely what we crave during a global pandemic. So while this isn't the best remake or even one that you'll remember from years back, a good cast, great songs, and a love for the 80s do give it a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. See you next time.